Yeah, that sounds absolutely crazy. Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. If you're new to my channel, my name is Enola, welcome, and if you are returning, then welcome back. So I hope everyone is feeling okay considering the current pandemic. I'm just here today to do a little video on something a bit fun. A lot of people have been talking about Disney Plus, so I want to talk about 10 Disney movies on Disney Plus that I think are underrated and should definitely be watched and appreciated. Now these are just my opinions, these are just movies that I personally think are underrated. So if you disagree, that's fine. If you agree, amazing. Drop me a comment below. I love to talk to people, so make sure you leave me things to answer. I'm going to start a general chit chat and say hello. Do you want to say hi, Winnie? Winnie's here today. Say hello. No? Okay. So I've seen like people talking about Disney Plus all over social media. I feel like it came at a good time. Disney Plus literally has everything on it. All the animated movies, all the Pixar movies, it's got Marvel on there, it's got Star Wars on there, it's got loads of live action films, and it's got like series. It's even got High School Musical, the series on there, which is actually surprisingly really good. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm enjoying that. It's got loads of behind the scenes at Disney. One of the most amazing things on there, which is not part of my list because I'm just doing movies, but I will mention the Imagineering story. Oh my god. Like if you are a massive Disney head like me, and you are fascinated about like the Disney parks and how they came to be and just loads of things, animation, all sorts, like the Imagineering story is just the most special thing ever. Anyway, that's a tangent. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. So let's take a little bit of a rewind. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already seen, got my Disney hoodie on. I thought I'd dress for the occasion. Let's get straight into the list, shall we? Don't forget to click subscribe on my channel, give it a thumbs up. So let's go straight into the list, starting with number 10, A Wrinkle in Time. Oh my gosh, I love this movie. I think it's just wonderful. It's very, very heartwarming. Most Disney films are, but this one particularly. Now it's not that old, it's relatively new. It's just a really heartwarming movie and it's got such a special message and it's very metaphorical. Now I'm not going to give anything away too much in this video, but a general gist, there's this girl and she just isn't very happy with herself and who she is and like her life because her dad, who's a massive like scientist and believes in like traveling the universe in different ways, disappeared 4 years ago. It's very like spiritual and very like one with the universe, which is just totally me, so this spoke to me from the get-go. She has the cutest little brother in it called Charles Wallace, and he's just like the most intelligent child you'll ever see in your life. And it's kind of like their journey through the universe, and I don't want to give too much away, but they meet these like three people, the three misses, and there's Mrs. Which, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. What's It. And so Reese Witherspoon's in there, she plays Mrs. What's It, and Oprah Winfrey plays Mrs. Which. This probably sounds like a load of gobbledygook right now because you don't know the basic consensus of the film, but yeah, it's basically about finding yourself in a way, escaping your own bad negative thoughts sort of thing. It's very metaphorical, it's pretty much a fantasy, and I just love the way the story's told. I love the music in it. Sia does a song in it called Magic, which is a great song, and it just makes you have all the feels in like, yeah, I love myself and I'm gonna go out in the universe and love myself. So yeah, definitely recommend A Wrinkle in Time. That's in at my number 10. Moving on to my number 9 of underrated Disney films on Disney Plus. Okay, so this one is a sequel to one of the animated movies. You're probably all gonna be like, what? But honestly, don't knock it until you've tried it. This is The Return of Jafar. Now, I love this because it's quite nostalgic for me. I used to watch all of these when I was really little. I'm a 90s kid, grew up in the 90s, loved all the original animated films. So you've got Aladdin, then this is the next one. Mostly sequels to the animated original films. I don't really enjoy them. Some of them are a bit iffy, but The Return of Jafar is probably my favourite sequel because it has some banging songs in there. There's one called Forget About Love that Iago kind of sings it, but then Jasmine comes in with this really epic bit, which I just love. It's actually quite an entertaining story. The genie's really funny in it, as usual. So it's kind of like Jafar coming back to life in a way, and he's like still a genie, obviously, so he like does all these tricks and things to try and get back at Aladdin. And then there's this little guy in it, another little villain called Abismal, and it only just dawned on me that that means abysmal, abysmal, abysmal. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. You might hate it, and that's fine, but I personally love it. I could put the Return of Jafar on right now and literally sing every single song on there, and I haven't watched it in quite a few years, and I definitely recommend it, so it's in at number 9. Moving on to number 8 on my underrated Disney Plus movies. So this one is an absolute classic, and if you disagree with this, then I'm sorry. The Lizzie McGuire movie. Because this is epic. This takes me back to being like 12, and I went to the cinema with my friends to see this, and we were just literally like gobsmacked at the amazingness in front of us. Now, yes, it's cheesy, it's definitely a massive cheese factor, but it's all the good cheese that you would want. But all I can say in regards to the Lizzie McGuire movie is "Sing to me, Paolo." The classic quotes. I watched bits of the series, but I wasn't like a die-hard fan of the series. But then when this movie came out, I was obsessed with Hilary Duff. I've always been a fantasist, you know. I've just always loved fantasy, fantasizing about my life. And then the fact that Lizzie McGuire, without giving too many spoilers for those who haven't seen it, basically goes to Rome on a school trip with her school and falls kind of head over heels for this Italian guy called Paolo, who actually happens to be a big superstar in Italy, and he has this partner called Isabella, who just happens to look the exact same as Lizzie, only a brunette version. And then some kind of feuds happen between Paolo and Isabella, so Lizzie McGuire steps in, becomes this like big superstar for a while, and just has this crazy epic adventure, which definitely is completely and utterly unrealistic and would never happen in real life. But that's the beauty of it, and you just get swept away in it. There's some absolutely banging songs in there. If you don't know what Dreams Are Made Of is, then I'm sorry. So if you haven't seen it, then you have to get on Disney Plus and watch Lizzie McGuire movie. Okay, so coming in at number 7 on my list is another kind of nostalgic one for me. And that is Muppet's Treasure Island. Now, I love the Muppets, but I don't like all of their movies. There's only a select few. In fact, there's two movies from the Muppets that I like. Muppet's Christmas Carol, just because. But Muppet's Treasure Island has always been one of my favourites since I was little. So the reason I think you should all watch this is because I feel like it's really underrated as a Muppets movie. It's obviously the classic story of Treasure Island, but with the Muppets. And you've got Tim Curry as Long John Silver. You've got your lovely Kermit the Frog, of course. You've got your Gonzo and Rizzo, who are just funny and fabulous throughout. There's a guy that plays this young boy called Jim, and they go on this epic adventure. You know kind of the story of Treasure Island. I don't know if it's the exact same story as Treasure Island, but it's obviously along the same kind of lines. It's got some great songs in it as well. I'm basically choosing all these movies for their songs, let's be honest. It's really random as well. They're on this big ship sailing for adventure. On this ship, you've got like the pirates, like the bad guys. Then you've got like the normal crew, and then you've got like the rats that have kind of come on board the ship as a cruise. So like there's a completely different story in there, and then I keep like cutting back to the rats just having the time of their life on this boat, like sipping pina coladas and dancing to the band that's playing. When I watch it now, I'm just like, this is strange. This is like some weird, crazy dream. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. So that's coming in at number 7 for me. And I don't care if you don't agree with that. Number 6 on my list of underrated movies on Disney Plus is a very classic story, one that I've loved since I was little, and this is The Sword in the Stone. Many versions have been told, I think. Is it true? Do you know what, I should really do my research a bit more on the background of these things before doing a video, so I apologise if some of my facts are not correct. Was like Excalibur and the whole Sword in the Stone thing actually a thing? Because I remember there being a theme park called Camelot. I don't know if anyone remembers Camelot. It was very much based on like Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur and Excalibur and the sword. But was the sword in a stone? I don't know. Was it a true story? Please let me know in the comments down below. The Disney version of Sword in the Stone, Merlin's just such a babe, and then the little Arthur is just like really cute and nerdy, and then he turns out to like be the one that pulls the sword from the stone. Oh, that was a spoiler, I'm sorry. There's also that crazy character in there called Madam Mim, and I just think she is the greatest thing ever. I love like the fight scene that they have at the end between Merlin and Madam Mim. They change themselves into different animals to fight against each other, and it's really good. I used to play a game called Madam Mim when I was in primary school. Weird, I know. Where we'd each take turns to be Madam Mim and go and lie down on this hill. When we woke up, we were like a different character or a different animal. Yeah, that sounds absolutely crazy. It's just so cute as well. Like Merlin and Arthur go on these little adventures and they turn into squirrels and they turn into fish. And it's a classic Disney animation. It's really old and nostalgic and great, and I definitely recommend it. If you've got kids, show them the Disney classics, you know? Who cares about Frozen? No one cares about that right now. Watch the Disney classics. So we're nearly there, we're halfway there. We're at number 5 now. This one, again, nostalgic. Love that bit of nostalgia. Me and my brother used to watch this. It's called The Swiss Family Robinson. You've probably already heard of it. Now, I think there was a really old version of this movie, which you could also access on Disney+, but the one that I'm talking about is a slightly newer one. I think it's from the 70s. It's a live action movie, and basically, without giving too much away if you haven't seen it, this family, the Robinsons, they are shipwrecked and then they end up on this like tropical island and they've got no way of like getting home, so they have to kind of like make their own home. 2 of the sons go hunting, they stumble across pirates, and why did I just gasp as if there was actually pirates? Do you know what, I think I'm just going a little bit insane from being indoors for a long period of time. Anyway, they've got this epic house in trees, and I just think the reason me and my brother were like drawn to this movie was because we were just like, oh my god, look at these tree houses, they look amazing, we could actually do that, we could build these houses in these trees. Of course, we never did. I like using the word epic today, that's really annoying me. Just great, it's a really good film. It's quite long, but it's definitely worth it. Get a cup of tea, get a digestive biscuit, and dive into Swiss Family Robinson, guys, because it is good. Number 4 now, and this one is another Disney animated classic, one of my absolute favourites of all time, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now this film is just insane, it's great, I love it. The music in this film is beautiful. The story is actually quite sad and like awful, and the way that they treat Quasimodo is just, but Esmeralda, she was the one Disney character I always wanted to dress up as when I was little. Now, I wasn't really interested in Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or anything like that. I was obsessed with Esmeralda, literally my idol when I was 6. Now, I have a photograph actually of me on my 6th birthday with an Esmeralda outfit that my dad made from scratch because he is amazing. Here it is. There I am, looking like Esmeralda. This was for my own fancy dress birthday party when I was 6, and I didn't win. I ran out crying. This other girl who was dressed as a hula girl, she won, but I was like, it's my party, I should totally win. Look at my outfit, I am Esmeralda. One of my favourite ever Disney songs is in that film, Out There. Okay, that was really abrupt. Out There, the song, it's called Out There. Oh my goodness, that's one of my favourite songs ever. At the moment, it's kind of relatable in a way, the current situation we all find ourselves in, about kind of being cooped up inside and wanting to be out. Great movie. Frollo, I think, is one of the all-time Disney villains. He's just horrible, isn't he? When he sang that song Hellfire, that used to really haunt my nightmares. But yeah, I love this film. I think it's so good and the animation's brilliant. We're nearly there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up if you've liked this video. But we are now down to the last 3. Coming in at number 3 is another favourite of mine. It's a live action slash animation. So there's just one animation in there, but it's Peach Dragon, the original. So not Peach Dragon, the remake live action film. Oh my god. So when they brought the remake of this out, I was kind of disappointed because some of my favourite Disney songs are in Peach Dragon OG. I get what they were doing. They were kind of making it more action packed and kind of like Jungle Book vibe in a way, Godzilla vibe, those kind of vibes. Wasn't for me, I didn't enjoy it, no. But that's because my heart lies with Peach Dragon, the original. I just loved it. And the dragon's called Elliot, like how cute is that? Elliot basically went around saving orphans, and I just can't. He can make himself invisible. Basically, they go to this town called Passamaquoddy. Amazing name for a town. The dragon has to be invisible so no one can see him. No one believes Pete that he has a dragon, so they all think he's this crazy child. It's fabulous. Got your villains in there because this trickster guy comes to town and he's like selling all these weird like elixirs and things. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that guy in Sweeney Todd. And then there's just all these great songs. It's a proper musical. It could definitely be an onstage musical, to be fair. Most Disney films can, but this one particularly I think would be so good. There's a song in there that's my favourite song ever called There's Room for Everyone in This World. Is that the title? Because that's quite long. I used to sing it with my mum, and it's a Brazzle Dazzle Day as well. We used to sing it around the house when I was little, and it was just so cute. So if you want like a really good sing-along, definitely recommend this one, Peach Dragon OG. It's amazing, it's so good. It's very period as well, if you like period dramas sort of thing. It's got some great songs in there. It's just a great time. Okay, number 2 on my list, we're nearly there guys, is one that I just watched recently the other day. I hadn't watched it until now, but it's on Disney Plus, and that is Coco. Oh my goodness, what a film. I think I cry at every Disney film, to be fair, but this one I definitely had like tears. Oh my god, it was just so cute. Mexican kind of theme. It's really bright, really colourful. It's following this little guy. Basically, music is banned in their family, and he loves the little guy, and it loves playing guitar, and he loves music. And then he goes to try and find one of his ancestors who also loved music and try and piece together why the family hated music. And he kind of goes into like this world of the dead, kind of like a place between being dead and alive sort of thing. But it's got some really, really good songs, like very Spanishy and Mexican type vibes. The songs are great, the movie's great, it's colourful, it's fantastic, it's feel good, like I keep saying. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It's just one of those films you can just lie on your sofa and just kind of take it all in and be like, yeah, this has been a great Disney movie. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Number 1 on my list. Now, this film I just think is great, and it deserves to be number 1 on my list, and that is Zootopia. Okay, I love Zootopia. I feel like it's underrated. I just feel like all these movies I've mentioned are underrated, but this one. I remember when I worked for Disney and this came out, and I didn't really pay it much thought. I was like, oh, it's just a Disney movie with animals, whatever. It's not gonna be like The Lion King, is it? It's not gonna beat that. When I actually watched it, I was like, oh my god, I love this film. It is great. So you've got Shakira. Shakira plays a character. I think it's a llama. No, it's not a llama. It's definitely not a llama. I think it's like an antelope or something. Shakira's in there. She plays this really like cool pop star person, and she has this great song called Try Everything, which you should definitely download and listen to right now. It's so good, so feel good. And this movie, basically, I love it because it's a little rabbit wanting to be in the police force in Zootopia, and only big animals could be part of the police force, like lions and like bulls. I think Idris Elba plays one of the police officers, the main police officer guy. Yeah, and this one rabbit, she just literally does not let anything get in her way. She has one goal in mind. She wants to be this police officer. She wants to save Zootopia from all the villains. As you can see, I'm very passionate about this because I really do believe that people should always persevere. If they really truly believe in something, don't listen to anyone who tries to hate on you. You should absolutely go towards that dream without anything holding you back. And that movie will definitely give you that kind of feeling. It's great. You should definitely watch Zootopia if you want some inspiration. And when all this is over, when this pandemic has cleared and gone away, this movie will probably get you motivated to be out there, going for your dream, going for your goal. So definitely watch Zootopia. It's number 1 on my list. It may not be number 1 on your list, but honestly, I honestly do think you'll enjoy it if you haven't already seen it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that I've given you some good recommendations. If you disagree, that's fine as well. These are literally just my opinions on what I feel are the 10 most underrated Disney movies on Disney Plus. But like I said, there's not just movies on there, there's series, there's documentaries, there's all sorts. So go and check Disney Plus out if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.